Hello and welcome to the Eagle Eye Focus Sports Talk podcast. I'm your host, Louis Deavy. Today we are going to be recapping the Eagles' wild 33-27 win on Monday Night Football in the season opener Week 1 against the Washington Redskins. A lot of storylines in the game, including the return of RG3 coming off that season-ending injury last year. Also, what is Chip Kelly's offense going to look like in the brand new scheme with Michael Vick and all the new weapons? How is this brand new Eagles defense going to look, and how are they going to adjust, and how are teams going to adjust to this fast-paced offense? And it was all unknown during the offseason, and pretty much we got a lot of answers on Monday night. Again, the Eagles win the game 33-27 after taking a commanding 33-7 lead heading into the second half. The defense gets a little bit sloppy in the end and gives up some costly points, but let's go step by step, and let's actually get into the game before I put my analysis in on it. Michael Vick and the Eagles have a very impressive first drive, all the way marching in on first and goal, only to throw a backwards pass, have it tipped by Ryan Kerrigan. D'Angelo Hall takes it all the way, over 90 yards for the score. The Redskins take it 7-0. But then the Eagles' offense quickly comes back, gets a quick field goal, and then the defense, with a huge stop, is Michael Kendricks and Trent Cole force a fumble on Alfred Morris to recover it for the Eagles to get the ball right back. And then Michael Vick delivers a bullet off a read option fake to Deshaun Jackson for the touchdown. The Eagles take a 10-7 lead, and that's when it started getting rolling. RG3 tries pitching it to Alfred Morris, but you could tell he was rusty throughout the entire first half. Alfred Morris fumbles the bad pitch. It's a safety in the back of the end zone. Kendricks lands on him. The Eagles take a 12-7 lead. And then that's when it really started getting going. The Eagles had a couple 3-and-outs. But then Brandon Boykin gets a big interception on great coverage. RG3 tries to force the pass, and Brandon Boykin completely just jumps right in front of it. A great heads-up play from the second-year corner right there. Then the Eagles get some more points. LeSean McCoy hits a huge touchdown run, as well as a big Brent Selleck passing touchdown. So again, the Eagles take that big lead heading into the second half. First half analysis, I thought the offense was fast, incredible, running the football and passing it. The Eagles averaged in the stats every 13 seconds they got a playoff. If you don't think that's fast, why don't you go talk to Chip Kelly, who said, honestly, he thought it looked slow in his eyes, how they looked. I don't know how much faster it can get, honestly. I mean, I guess we're going to see against San Diego this week. But, I mean, with that getting off 13, Michael Vick said, I don't know how faster it can get. Everyone's saying how much fun they had in this game. Finally running the football. LeSean McCoy had 31 carries. That's more than Andy Reid ever ran with a certain amount of carries. 184 yards and a score for LeSean McCoy on the night rushing. He was a leading rusher in all of running backs in Week 1 of the NFL season. It's back. And again, I thought the defense in the first half looked great. I thought Trent Cole, clearly there was questions if he could make the transition to outside linebacker, and he looked terrific. Run stopping and also pass rushing made RG3 very uncomfortable. I thought Bill Davis did a great job play calling, inserting a lot of different type looks, blitzing wise and coverage schemes. A lot of these quick blitzes up the middle from D'Amico Ryans and Michael Kendricks really making RG3 uncomfortable. Also really helped against the run game, holding Alfred Morris to his worst game as a pro, only 43 yards rushing and a touchdown, which was the one score the Redskins had before the whole comeback situation happened. I thought they looked great, and I thought that was the one question about this Eagles team was the defense, not the offense. Everybody knew Chip Kelly and this offense was going to be fast, but the question really was, how is this defense going to actually look with 6 new starters on the team? They look great. Kerry Williams, according to ProFootballFocus.com statistic-wise, five targets towards Kerry Williams, no receptions. Kerry Williams also had a sack off a blitz, and also a great diving interception. He probably had his best game as a pro, and I thought he looked great. If you check on my blog at eaglesportstalk.blogspot.com, I've kind of been criticizing Kerry Williams during the offseason. First with the whole OTA mandatory quote-unquote, air quote, mandatory minicamp situation, Then with all the fighting in New England, the New England practice is getting kicked out of that practice, as well as during the preseason he had that nagging hamstring injury, and then the whole fight with Riley Cooper. I've kind of been all over this guy, and he finally just shuts up, plays some football, and looked great. And I thought, I mean, last year cornerback was atrocious for the Eagles, and this year it's looked great from the first game. A quick injury report. Speaking of the secondary, Bradley Fletcher, the other starter, has concussion and is doubtful. Odds are for the San Diego Chargers game at 1 o'clock on Sunday that he has not been ruled officially doubtful by the team, so do not take that speculation off of me. I'm just saying, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, it looks like Bradley Fletcher will probably not play that game, which gives Brandon Boykin the nod at starting outside cornerback, as well as the Eagles re-signed Brandon Hughes to come back after he had that hand injury, which made them cut Brandon Hughes after he had a guaranteed contract. They wanted to bring him back off of non-guaranteed, as well as Jordan Poyer had a pretty impressive game. They did a lot of rotations, and Chip Kelly said that was just based on trying to get the guys in, keeping them fresh. But for the first half, I thought the offense was electric. Vic throwing some risky blocks, I noticed, during the LeSean McCoy runs. Hopefully he'll stop doing that. Chip Kelly even said that those were not designed blocks. So let's hope he can stop that. As well as some great runs from Vic, who honestly I think out of all the spread option quarterbacks this week, really there weren't many that were actually doing it efficiently. Colin Kaepernick was just torching the Packers by the pocket. Cam Newton only had 30 yards rushing. They didn't get anything going on offense. Russell Wilson was all pocket passing and also scrambling off of broken down plays. Terrell Pryor was the other guy that had a great read option game, but I thought Michael Vick ran it probably the best out of anyone this week, including RG3, who did not run it pretty much at all. I only saw like 2 zone read plays, and he did not take it. I believe he ran once. So with that, Vic had 5 carries, I believe, or 4 or 5 or 6 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown was before the half. A great read option play. Gives it to McCoy. Reads that the defender was playing aggressive and going after McCoy. Pulls it. Dives into the end zone for the touchdown. Listen to I mean, I know Michael Vick, everyone's talking about how he needs to stay healthy if the Eagles want to get to the playoffs and how he needs to get down and slide. Like Chip Kelly said in his press conference today, at 33 years old, that's not going to happen. He's not going to do a hook slide. He's going to dive headfirst. But if he can get down, he can get down. He took a lot of unnecessary hits. I still think he's got some things to work on for next week. He had that nagging groin injury in the second half. You could tell he was walking differently than he was in the first half, I noticed. And because, I mean, a lot of the time when you dive head first, you give up yourself for more hits, and I thought that's exactly what happened, getting hit in some different spots. I thought there was some different things that Vic did. Passing-wise, he looked great. Again, 202 yards and 2 touchdowns. But again, I mean, it's just getting down, getting healthy. I thought he didn't rush anything. I thought he let the game come to him and took what he can get, what the defense was giving him, instead of forcing passes like he has the past 2 years. And guess what for Vic? No turnovers this week. The Eagles did have 2 turnovers. I'm sorry. Michael Vick did throw that behind the line of scrimmage, so there was the 1. But no fumbles, great ball security. No interceptions either. The Eagles took a commanding lead. But then in the second half, things got a little bit shaky. The Eagles didn't run as much of a fast-paced offense as you would have expected. I thought it was interesting to see that Chip Kelly, pretty much because, I mean, you don't always want to run. Like he said, their offense is based on fast-paced running type offense. But to me, though, and like he said, if you're winning, you want to kill out the clock. You don't want to hurry things up. You want to slow it down. The Eagles did not score any points in the second half. I mean, I think it was kind of nerve-wracking, but I think that it was good that, I mean, they just eked out the win. You got out of there with a win. Came down to a final onside kick, but RG3 and the Redskins started marching down the field. I mean, it was... let me check right here. It was 26-7 heading into the half. And I apologize. LeSean McCoy then scored that touchdown in the third quarter to take a 33-14 lead. Then RG3 and the Redskins surged back, scoring 20 unanswered points to make it a 27-33 game. But a huge turnover from a great stop from the Eagles team. From the Eagles, 3 incomplete passes in a row from great coverage from Brandon Boykin, Kerry Williams, and Bradley Fletcher. But Patrick Chung, a costly mistake, bad play on the ball. When RG3 put it right over his head, Chung jumps instead of running back to tip it away, and he throws it right to Leonard Hankerson, who did have 5 receptions for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. So for you fantasy folks, he was a good waiver wire pickup. I thought the defense did good in a clutch situation. They got off the field. It was huge for them to do that. I thought they looked very good, both in the first and second half, but the offense pretty much was just trying to kill the clock, I noticed, in the entire second half, running the football, as well as a crucial first down when Michael Vick in third down was running away. The pocket was breaking down. He throws a short little pass to Jason Avant, who buries his way for the first down, putting his whole body on the line, totally stretching it out, reaching for the pylon. Jason Avant gets the first down. Things like that, showing that kind of heart, that motivation from a leader and a veteran like Jason Avant is definitely going to show what this is definitely going to show the young players and show this team and other teams what the Eagles are made of and how that they can do this. It's doing things for the team like that. That was a total team play to get that first down. That was a crucial situation because you do not want to blow that lead and do not want to give them the ball back, and they did not. An onside kick was recovered by Jason Avant. It went between his legs. Jake Knott makes a crucial play, sees that it went between Avant's legs, dives on the football, gets it up between him and Avant, and makes sure no one else gets it, screaming, "I got you, buddy." He did not scream that, but that's kind of what I was mimicking. Is I'm kind of a talker when it comes to the games. I like to ramble on, like I'm doing right now on this podcast, but just bear with me. It's a recap podcast. I'll get through it. For the statistic-wise, Michael Kendricks finished with the most tackles on the team, 10 combined. Brandon Boykin had 6. He had an interception. D'Amico Ryans had 8 and a sack. Fletcher Cox and Kerry Williams also recording sacks, as well as Trent Cole having a forced fumble. So a great game for the defensively. I thought offensively, scheme-wise, it was very interesting. They were doing a lot of spread, which is mostly what they are going to do. But you didn't see a guy that I wrote an article on right after. Go check that out. About James Casey, the tight end, that they took from free agency, expecting him to become a big part of this offense. Then they drafted Zach Ertz in the second round to become a big part of this offense as well. But I thought James Casey was going to still be a big part of this offense. I mean, he's versatile. He can do running back, fullback, tight end, split out in the slot. I honestly think you're going to see more of that this week. Where you're going to see James Casey and Zach Ertz in the slots while you have Brent Selleck on the line. Brent Selleck had a great game, 2 receptions for 56 yards and a touchdown. Zach Ertz had 1 catch for 11 yards. He got that first down. He also had a really nice helmet catch, it looked like, but it hit the ground, and that was ruled incomplete. Chip Kelly said it depends on what the scheme is, again, and what the defense is doing, on the reason why if James Casey will be out there or not. It's the type of situation. James Casey knows that. He did seem a bit irritated during the press conference from what I saw, but he had a great special teams day. 2 big time tackles to give the Eagles the Redskins bad field position. That was to me the game the deciding factor in this game. Obviously, other than scoring points and great defensive stops, the Eagles special teams kick return, kick coverage, and punt coverage-wise was terrific. Alex Henry hit 3 huge touchbacks and kickoff returns, and when he didn't, Redskins were only averaging about 12, 13 yards per return. They only got to the 20, I believe, once. A great game from that. Chris Polk made some big tackles on special teams, again, as well as James Casey had a very good game on special teams. It was incredible. Chip Kelly and this Eagles team has that special teams working very well, including recovering that costly onside kick, crucial. Deshaun Jackson, a guy I haven't talked about yet, the Eagles' number one receiver, had a big game, 7 receptions, 104 yards, and that first touchdown of the game when Michael Vick pulled it back and hit him with a dart, beating D'Angelo Hall. It was kind of fun watching him and D'Angelo Hall go at it through the entire first half, and a little bit in the second half. He was all in his face after some of those big receptions. A key play like Deshaun Jackson did was a screen pass. He hurdles 2 people to get to the first down, never goes out of bounds. Deshaun Jackson's tenacious attitude like that, getting in Hall's face, but at the same time, not causing any penalties. He did draw one where he got out of bounds, and Hall horse-collared him, and it was a late hit out of bounds. And then Deshaun Jackson throws Hall into the ground. Maybe that should have been called, but I love it. I think it gets me. I know it gets me pumped up, and I know it gets Eagles fans pumped up when there's a gritty game going on. I like it like that, and I thought Deshaun talked the talk, but he also walked the walk, which is very crucial. I thought he picked it up. I was kind of nervous on how this receiving team was going to work without Jeremy Maclin this season. To me, they're fine with this fast-paced offense. They're going to run the football anyway. 49 times the Eagles ran the football. Far more than Andy Reid would have ever and will ever run the football. I mean, LeSean McCoy had 31 attempts. Michael Vick had 9, as well as Bryce Brown had 9, who had 25 yards. His long was a 7-yarder. I thought he actually looked pretty good. I want to see him get a little bit more involved, as well as Chris Polk getting some carries. Receiving-wise, Riley Cooper had 2 nice receptions for 14 yards. Avant had 2 for 13, but the one clearly was probably one of the biggest plays of the game. Ertz 1 for 11 and McCoy 1 for 5. I thought Demarcus Johnson, and again another scheme-wise, they didn't do many. They didn't do any. And that's kind of interesting. Actually, I just noticed that. Demarcus Johnson kick return and punt returned, but when the Eagles had 5 receivers, guess who was out there? 4 receivers. It was Jeff Mayhill. Demarcus Johnson was not on the field that much. I'm trying to get a basis off of what this whole drafting and signing Oregon players on Chip Kelly's offense means, if there's favoritism. I don't think there is. I think that's a whole just an off-season story to create talk. But it's kind of interesting. Jeff Mayhill got a couple, I believe it was like 2 or 3 snaps on the offensive side on the one drive, and I do not remember seeing Demarcus Johnson out there, unless I'm mistaken. So again, final score 33-27. Great plays. I'll have highlights up on the site for you guys, as well as statistics. So that's going to do it for today's Eagle Eye Focus Sports Talk podcast, recapping the Eagles' thrilling Monday night victory over the Washington Redskins. Thanks for joining me again. Follow me on Twitter for all your Eagles updates at DB Sports Talk. Check out my blog for latest articles and podcasts. I'll be having, again, weekly podcasts every Tuesday and Friday. I'll have a recap and a preview. This Friday, I will be previewing the Eagles' 1 o'clock matchup in Lincoln Financial Field, home opener against the San Diego Chargers, who are coming off a disappointing Monday night loss, a very close one against the Houston Texans. Other than that, I think it's going to do it. Go to our new launched website, the Eagle Eye Focus Sports Talk Podcast is pleased to be announced that we are partnered up with the All 32 Access website. I am the co-founder of that, as well as my partner on the NFL Experts podcast, Dave Kress, and our partner on the Waiver Show, and also the All 32 Access Debate Club, Brendan Harrington, also of the Real Bills Now blog. You can go to that at all32access.weebly.com. We currently have 7 blogs up. If you'd like to be a part of that team, email us at all32access@yahoo.com. We currently have the Bills, Jets, Cardinals, Packers, Panthers, and Eagles, as well as an NFL blog up. So if you want to join one of those blogs or create your own, just let us know. And again, thanks for joining me on this Eagles blog. Eagles, again, face the Chargers. They are 1-0 atop the NFC East, as well as the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to steal Dave Spadaro, Philadelphia Eagles quote here. Have yourselves a great Eagles day. I'm sorry, Dave Spadaro.